Hunter Biden's plea deal on federal tax and gun charges could mean for Congress and its investigation into him and President Biden. Now, the president's son did agree to plead guilty to willfully failing to pay income taxes from 2017 and 2018. It's believed he'll accept this agreement that would avoid a conviction on a gun-related charge and instead be allowed to serve probation instead of jail time. Congressional Republicans are crying foul, saying it's a double standard, some calling it a slap on the wrist. So we want to dig into this a little bit more with New York criminal defense attorney and legal commentator Arthur Aidala. Arthur, good morning to you. Does the anticipated punishment fit the crime here?
Well, I just read, while I was watching your last story, I just read the U.S. Attorney's press release. And what they make very clear in there is what I thought was the facts, but the New York Times has me questioning myself because everyone is reporting that he's going to get probation, like it's a fait accompli. And what the press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, which is something I'm going to rely on more than anything else, says that a federal district judge will determine the actual sentence. So we can assume, based on the charges, that there's a high likelihood he will get probation. But it's not like a state court case or a case you would see in Law and Order, where the prosecutor and the defense attorney reach an agreement, and their agreement is more or less binding on the judge. Here, the judge is going to hear what the charges are, and they're going to hear all kinds of things about Hunter Biden. And there are factors that the judge has to take into account, and then the judge will determine what the sentence will be. The fact that these are misdemeanors and not felonies, these are lower level, not higher level crimes, means that there's a likelihood he's going to get probation, but it is certainly not set in stone.
But because you bring up this point, they're misdemeanor charges, though they are federal charges, and they're a far cry from some of the allegations House Republicans have been speaking about and going after. So does this presumed plea deal actually spur Republicans to continue investigating him, or are we going to just kind of lose some steam?
No, I think, if anything, this is going to motivate them to continue to dig. I mean, there are all, like, in other words, he paid apparently over $1 million in fines and penalties regarding these particular tax violations. I'm not going to count your money, but I certainly could not write out a check for $1 million right now. So I know they want to know, where did this money come from? All of these deals that Hunter Biden cut during his father's last year of being vice president of the United States of America, they're definitely looking to dig deeper. And there were some issues by the investigators complaining to lawmakers that they were iced out of some of the meetings with prosecutors, and that's very atypical. Federal investigators are very powerful, and they work very much hand in hand with federal prosecutors. And the fact that they got iced out makes you raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, well, I think a lot about what we're hearing, particularly when it comes to these investigations, is raising a lot of eyebrows. 5 years later, this is what sticks, Arthur. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy wants the DOJ to now turn over records from Hunter. Can they make those kinds of demands?
They can. I mean, they can subpoena things that are not privileged. And look, these are lawyers, so a lot of their work product is privileged and, cannot be turned over. Obviously, the defense attorney's work product between him and Hunter is privileged as well. Look, this is all I want to say is, if I was Hunter Biden's criminal defense attorney, I would be very happy today. I would say, boy, I did a great job for my client. These deals are not very typical, especially the fact that they're recommending probation, because the rule of thumb, at least here in New York, where I practice, by the federal prosecutors, is they always ask for some degree of jail time when it comes to tax cases, because they want general deterrence. They want the word to go out there that if you cheat on your taxes, you're going to jail. The best they'll ever do is say, Judge, his guideline range is about 12 years. We will agree that he deserves a less than guideline sentence, but almost never, not in my 20-some-odd years of practicing in federal court, do they say, give him probation.
Yeah, no, you make a very fascinating point. They usually want to set an example, make you an example if you do violate those tax filings. Arthur Aidala, the president, saying he's proud of his son. His attorney, Hunter Biden's attorney, saying he's owning up to his mistakes. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.